under the Bitcoin standard, it is truly the most free, open, competitive market for security and for transaction processing. A person that's not comfortable with Bitcoin, they're just used to a pass, fail, break, not break, instant thing. And when you get used to Bitcoin, you realize that there's an entire, what is it, like quantum spectrum of like how confirmed something is. And it's a good thing, but you have to get used to a new paradigm. I guess with fiat, you have the appearance of instant settlement, but the substance of not having instant settlement. So you have a paradox there where you think something happened, but in point of fact, perhaps the final settlement hasn't happened for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, and with some things like with bank wire transfers, it could be as much as 30 days. I've seen. So with the matter of transaction verification and security is a tricky one. It's hard to know that you've actually moved the money. And I guess the other part of security with regard to fiat is if you have money in a bank, how secure is the money in the bank? And you've built up this layer of assumptions. Like I only lost money in 2 banks in the world. I lost money in an Argentine bank, and I lost money. Let me rephrase it. I only lost money overnight in 2 banks in the world. I lost money slowly, right? In every bank that I ever put money into. If you put money in a bank, you're losing 1% a month or 1% every quarter everywhere in the world. But I did once wake up and lose all my money in 2 banks. And the first example of lack of security was an Argentine bank where I had $1 million in the bank, and it was in dollars. And in the morning, the government passed a law converting it to pesos at $1 to a peso. And in the afternoon, the government devalued the peso to 10 pesos to the dollar. And the next day, I had 1/10 of what I'd had the previous day. And so that illustrates the risk of a political risk in a bank, right?
Before we continue, help us by smashing that YouTube like button and subscribe now to this channel. This shows the algorithm that you value the information, and it helps us spread this message. Sharing is caring. Please like and subscribe now. Thank you. And now let's continue.
And I guess the other example is in Brazil. I once lost $1 million or $2 million in Brazil. And that was an example where the CEO of the bank stole the money or made a bunch of insolvent loans, bankrupted the bank through accounting fraud, and the bank got decapitalized. And I ended up standing behind all the other creditors, and we never got the money back. So I guess with fiat, right, you've got political risk, you've got execution risk and company or banking risk. With regard to gold, I mean, the security issue is, assuming you're owning the physical gold, you're putting it in a vault. I mean, maybe a vault in New York City or a vault in London. And I guess then you have the banking risk. The bank might actually lose the gold. And then you have the political risk, and you have another type of multiple political risk, right? The risk the gold gets seized, or the risk that the gold gets taxed in the local jurisdiction. I think with regard to Bitcoin, the really nice thing about Bitcoin is you manage to take out so many layers of risk in this. You take out the political layer, you take out the corporate layer of risk, and because you take out so much complexity, then you've got fewer things to fail. And I guess the other thing you do is you take out the political attack surface. I think Bitcoin is like more secure because you can move $1 million of it from New York to Malta in an hour, and you can move it from one custodian to another, or you can personally custody it, or you can multi-sig it, like 3 people. So you don't have the option to simultaneously hold $1 million of gold with your cousin in Malta and yourself. So you don't have those options with physical things. You don't really have those options with fiat. But with Bitcoin, you have a lot of these security options, and I think that means you get functionality. But also, I think that the the lack of the political attack surface means that I can pass a law in New York City taxing gold because I know it's there. I know it's hard to move the gold, but there's no point in passing a law in New York City taxing Bitcoin. My point, of course, is if the tax is 100%, that's the risk, right? You lost it all. But I wouldn't really bother with regulation that might actually devalue the asset if I thought that it was impossible for the regulation to be successful. And so I think with Bitcoin, you protect yourself from the corporate risk because you don't have to trust a company. If you do trust a company, you've got 1,000 other companies, and they're all competing with each other to earn your trust. And as soon as if you were to lose that trust, all the Bitcoin would leave within 48 hours. So you've just got a much better degree of security from any corporation you would ever trust. You don't have to. And then you've just got a lot less political risk because it's the most mobile property on the earth.
What to do in such a situation? Inform yourself and keep your financial education strong. We from the Compact Group offer our loyal subscribers a free educational portal with first-hand monetary, financial, and economic knowledge. Enter our invite-only Insider Club by clicking the link below. You will get access to first-class information far earlier than the rest. We have prepared a special deal for all our members where you can access a giant pool of Robert Kiyosaki's financial wisdom for just $1. To find out more, simply click the link below and join our Insider Club absolutely free. But there is more you can and should do. Build up several streams of income. More and more people realize that they have to take their future in their own hands, but they don't know how and where to start. We from Compact offer our Insider Club members unique opportunities. Strengthen your financial muscle and get the edge. Click the link below. Become part of our free Insider Club. No financial obligations. But there's one important thing you have to know. You have to become active. So do it now. Become active and see you on the other side.